If you're a nurse, healthcare provider, or full-time caregiver, I want to ask you something very gently today. Have you ever said, I'm just tired? Or maybe this is just a busy season. Or even, everyone feels like this. It's just part of the job. Then this episode is for you. Because what if that exhaustion is something more? Today we're breaking down the misconceptions of burnout. What burnout is not, what it isn't, and what it actually feels like. We're going to tap into those feelings. And friend, if you're not sure where you land, maybe you haven't said those things or you don't feel like they come out of your mouth routinely, then I've got a super helpful free quiz that will give you clarity. You can take it at the end of this episode. You can find it at theshanwright.com/quiz. Okay, let's dive in. Hey mama, are you overwhelmed by your full, blessed life? Do you feel stuck in the messy, mundane middle? Then I'm so glad you're here to take a breath. Hey, I'm Shan Wright, RN, holistic wellness coach, and a mom to four that went from perfectionism, control, and lots of anxiety to intentionally living through simple solutions and so much peace. If you are done with the stressed out life, hot mess express type of motherhood, then heat up that coffee again and let's live holistically well in the middle. Let's go. Most of us imagine burnout as this big dramatic crash. Like one day we're fine and the next we're curled in a ball, unable to function. We're on the floor in fetal position screaming, "Mommy, help, mommy." But that is not how it usually happens, especially for high functioning women like us, like you, especially for you, the nurse, the caregiver, the mama who juggles 1,000 things. You do this on the regular. So your nervous system has built up to this functioning place, this high achieving. So let's talk about what it isn't. What isn't burnout? It's not just being tired after a long shift. It's not just wanting a break or needing a nap. It's not a bad week or even a hard month. Because listen, stress is part of life. We know this. But burnout is what happens when chronic stress becomes your baseline. Let's talk about the stress curve. We have the stress curve at the bottom is nothing. You're not really even functioning in life. Then you work your way up to the top of this bell curve, and at the top is optimal stress. You are achieving all the things. You are loving your job. You are loving being a mom. You are having all the mom wins. Everything's going great. And right after the top of this stress curve, when the stress continues to build and you have this chronic stress load, you enter into fatigue and exhaustion. Down the curve. Now you are in the exhaustion area and you continue to go down the curve and you land anxiety, anger, these signs of having an anxious lifestyle, and then you end into burnout. So it's just when the chronic stress continues and it doesn't get a break. When you've hit the fatigue mark and you don't take a long soul rest, you don't provide your holistic being with all that it needs, you're going to keep going on the chronic stress curve and then you land into burnout. So we get there before we even realize it. Okay, so then what does burnout actually feel like? Here's what it really looks like in our everyday lives. Number one, you're constantly tired, but the rest doesn't help. The nap doesn't help. You sleep, you sit, you slow down, but your body, it just feels heavy. It feels like you're carrying, literally, a heavy burden. Your mind, it still races. I just had this recently and I felt like for a good 5 days, I was sleeping, but not sleeping. I was sleeping and giving my body the rest that it needed because I couldn't go on my eyes couldn't stay open, but I was not receiving holistic rest. My nervous system was not resting. Okay, so you understand this time of life when your mind just doesn't stop even when you're sleeping. Okay, it also feels like numb. You just feel numb. So you're either so numb that you don't react to anything, or your nervous system is so shot that you actually react to every little thing. So spilt milk, case in point. If you have raised your voice or even gotten frustrated over your kid when they've spilt juice, milk, anything at the dinner table, then you're overreacting to small things and you are in a place of burnout. The joy is gone. You're snapping at your kids over the socks on the floor. I am raising my hand. I do that. And when I get to that point, I know, I need to take a breath. I need to take a breath. My nervous system is shot. It's at a point of numbness and overreacting. It's been overstimulated for far too long. It can't function normally anymore. I need to take a break. And yeah, sometimes it's the simple sign of yelling over the spilt milk or yelling over the socks on the floor. It's those things that we do. We have to stop and say, is that how I want to live on the everyday basis? Is this what I want to present to my children as a safe home and place to come and rest? And what messaging you're giving them, you have to think about that. Just stop yourself and go through the stop method, which we talked about on another episode. Okay, the next thing is what it feels like is you feel guilty. Like when you finally rest, you feel guilty. You finally sit down and the mental list of everything you should be doing starts playing through your head on repeat, and then you get right back up and you don't truly rest. The other thing that you feel is you're going through the motions. You're checking the boxes at home, at work, even spiritually, but you feel disconnected from God, your people, your spouse, yourself. You don't even know what you feel anymore. You are overfelt. You have emotions that you can't even really tap into. You're just going through the motions kind of like a robot. Another thing you might feel is forgetfulness. You just forget things. You lose track of things. You feel foggy, mental fog, brain fog. Even simple decisions feel overwhelming and your brain just feels full but blank. I know you understand that. It feels like there's so much in there, but also you don't even know what it is at the same time. You can't put your finger on it. Do any of these feelings sound familiar? I say yes. I say I have felt all of these before. I know what this feels like. I have been in burnout. I used to say, I am so tired of being tired. I was working nurse as a mom and then became a mom to two and just felt like when I laid nursing down that the burnout would go away, but it didn't. I had chronic gut issues. My emotions were all over the place. My anxiety was so high. And so I used to think that, I just needed to be less anxious. Well, that anxiety is on the stress curve. It's right before burnout. When you're feeling anxious all the time, or you even say, I have anxiety, then no, you are very, very close to burnout or even in it. And so that is something that we say often. It's kind of trending and it is a sign of burnout. And I would realize that I was having this anxiety even more at home and I had stopped working, or at least a traditional nursing job. I had put that on the back burner and I still had the anxiety. So where is it coming from? I thought that leaving the hospital and leaving this traditional job, I would feel more joy and peace at home, and that didn't happen. I realized that walking out of those hospital doors didn't take the burnout away because it was inside of me. So what did finally help? I realized I was more than a nurse, that I'm more than a mom, that I am more than someone who is just a high achiever and achieves things and produces things and someone who just keeps going and has it all together. I had to heal my nervous system. I had to renew my mind. I had to start living from the truth that my worth wasn't in what I produced. It was in whose I was. That's not just what I do that's important, but it's actually who I am becoming. I put so much identity in being a nurse, and it's not who I am. My identity is not in being a nurse. It's not your identity either. And once I did the identity work, I was able to climb out of burnout. That is when I found true healing. That is when I found holistic healing. Friend, you are a whole person. You're not a robot in scrubs. You are a whole person, body, mind, spirit, and soul. And you bring your whole self to work and you bring your whole self back home again. And that stress, it doesn't just live in the nurse's station. It lives in your body. It lives in your cells. You are made up of cells and it holds emotions. Your cells hold emotions. They hold stress. They hold what you are actually feeling. So if you think, I'm not burnout, I just love being at work. Or I'm not burnout, I just hate the chaos at home. Friend, let me lovingly say, you are one whole being. Your nervous system doesn't clock out when you do. That's why this matters, because you deserve to feel peace again, not just perform like everything is fine. You deserve to feel peace in your holistic life. So what do we do? What do we do now that we've realized, okay, this may be where I am? If any of this made your heart skip or you sighed or you whispered, oh, that's me, or tears, then you got to take the next step. I created a free quiz called Am I in Burnout quiz. Simple. It takes 5 minutes or less. It gives you the real answers plus support-based results. You will know what to do next based on your results. And I want you to do it. I want to encourage you right now. When you take that quiz, if any of this resonated with you, then I'm going to say those quiz results are going to lead you to a next step that I want you to step into. I want you to know that I have a hand waiting for you that you just grab onto, and we're going to walk this out together. There's so many options and resources, and I've been there, done that, and I'm so prepared to walk you through up this mountain, out of burnout, back to optimal stress level where you are thriving in your life. I want you to go right now and take the quiz at www.theshanwright.com/quiz, because this knowledge is power. Now you know, now you have some power, but the peace that you want to feel, it starts with being aware. The awareness of what is really going on inside of you, the awareness of taking a minute and pausing and reflecting on your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your actual being, your whole being, okay? You're not weak, you're just weary. And you're not broken, you're just burning out. Your nervous system is burnt out and you're not alone. You are seen, supported, and loved. I, again, have been there. I know exactly what you're feeling. And I want to support you through the whole healing journey. Let's stop surviving and start stewarding. Let's steward our whole selves with this joy of life. This is abundant life that God has blessed us with. And until next time, take a breath, take the quiz, and keep choosing wholeness over hustle. Shalom, shalom. Hey, Wellness Warrior. I pray that blessed you. And if so, it would bless me big if you would write a 5-star review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Not only would this make me super happy, but it will allow for others to find this show too. Also, I love to chat over on Instagram, so make sure to take a screenshot, share to your Instagram stories, and tag me at @theshanwright so I can see it and we can keep chatting and bring other moms to chat with us. Until we get to chat again, mama friend, may the Lord's face shine upon you and give you peace.